here. So today before we begin, I just want to make it very clear, this is 6-day hair. It is 90 something degrees outside. It's very humid and I know my hair is definitely super poofy and I'm 100% okay with that because that is what summer does to my natural hair. But yeah, at least as long as it's moisturized, I do not mind. So today we are going to talk about some common natural hair mistakes and how we can alleviate them. And I want to make it clear, when I say mistake, I'm not saying that if you're doing this and it's working for you, then it's wrong, you should change it. Like, if it's working for you, obviously keep doing it. I'm just saying that these are some possible culprits if you're having issues with your hair, and doing something else may help alleviate your issue. So that's all I'm saying. But yeah, let's just get started. And I have, like, I have my phone out so I don't forget them. I have 5 things to go over, and let's talk about them. Okay, so the first thing is you're co-washing your hair instead of properly cleansing your hair. Now, when I say co-wash, I don't mean using a cleansing conditioner or a product that has the proper surfactants to cleanse your hair. I mean, you're just using straight up conditioner on your hair every day, and you don't know what products you're using or what kind of buildup you're getting. And a lot of the times I see people when they say their hair is kind of sticky or they get a lot of white balls at their roots, it's really because they're co-washing and they're not properly cleansing their hair. If you are, I really feel like co-washing is only really effective if you use very, very little product on your hair and those products are water soluble. So even if you're not using silicones on your hair, if you're using a lot of oils or butters or anything like that, I still think that you need a proper cleanser to break up that oil in your hair, or it's going to, get like scalp buildup and all that kind of stuff. And I know everyone overuses the analogy or metaphor that if you wouldn't take a shower with lotion on, but it's kind of accurate, especially because our scalps are basically skin. And I even noticed in my hair, probably like a couple of weeks ago, I hadn't used a cleanser in a few weeks, and I was doing my hair and I was like, geez, I got some buildup. So I wanted to make sure to cleanse my hair. And I don't use harsh shampoos. I don't use shampoos that have sulfates or anything like that. I use something like Curl Junkie Daily Fix or Diva Curl Decadence, what is that, No Poo. And then if I want to use a shampoo, I always keep some Cream of Nature Argan Oil around because that's awesome. And the Camille Rose Caramel Co-Wash is actually good. Also good, not actually good. But yeah, so you need something in there, at least like cocoa betaine, to help, break up all those particles in your hair and properly get that gunk off of your scalp and off of your strands. So that's number 1. Number 2. You think that all proteins are created equal, and they are not. So there are different types of proteins. There are strengthening proteins, and there are also silkening and softening proteins. So if you are using something like wheat protein and you may be protein sensitive and it makes your hair hard, that's completely different than using a product that has silk protein and some of these other proteins that I can only think of silk protein right now. But I actually have a whole video on different types of proteins, and I will put a link to that in the details for you. But it's just something to be cognizant of because I know a lot of people just avoid all proteins, but they're really not the same. And you could be missing out on some like good moisture and some good softness because a lot of them are more like emollient. Number 3, you are finger detangling. And I know that someone's probably going to want to punch me in the face for this, but so I did a little experiment with finger detangling a couple of years ago, and I did very, very, small pieces of my hair in the shower with conditioner on. It took forever. It took like a year to do. And then when I went over my hair with my comb, my hair was still tangled. So I was like, oh my goodness, like what? And I tried it a few more times and I got the same thing happening every time. So I don't believe, unless you are like amazing at finger detangling, you're doing very, very, very small pieces. And I don't know about you, but I'm not spending 4 hours detangling my hair, and I'll be straight up honest with you. If it took me 4 hours to detangle my hair, I would be in that chair getting a perm. But yeah, if you really do it, that's absolutely fine. But I feel like most of the times you're not really getting all of the tangles out of your hair, especially at your roots, and especially if you have thick hair, just because it's so hard to see and you can't really tell like where the strands are like loving on each other and all that kind of stuff. But if you stick a comb in your roots, then it's going to get those tangles out. So I use seamless wide tooth comb to do my hair, because I don't like combs that can potentially like rip my hair. So I either do that, or I use my We Dot double detangler, which is a really good comb. It does have seams in it, but it has like 2 prongs. It has like 2 combing things, so it really helps you get tangles out without being too harsh on your hair. And it takes you like less strokes to get the tangles out, so that's always good because that's less manipulation on your hair. So those are my recommendations for detangling. Number 4, you are over manipulating your hair. And when I say over manipulate, I do not mean simply getting like braids or wearing wigs or anything that is putting stress on your edges. I mean, if you are twisting your hair and refreshing your twist every night, detangling your hair like twice a week, putting your hair in lots of high buns with a lot of slick back gel all the time, all of that is manipulation for your hair. And in my experience, I've learned that hair kind of thrives the most when you just leave it alone, because, I mean, obviously to tangle it, but if you leave it alone, then it just kind of has, you know, it's free to thrive. Anytime you're pulling at your hair, you have strands of hair that come out a lot. That's actually one of the reasons why I do more wash and goes, and I really don't do twist outs, because every time I would do a twist out, like I'd be twisting my hair and everything like that, and there would be so much hair coming out because I'm constantly pulling at my hair, tugging at my hair and all that. So I really don't find it to be necessary. If you really, you know, if you only like twist outs and wear your hair, I think that one good strategy is to do initially twist your hair, and then instead of refreshing all the twists at night, just look at your hair and see which ones are looking a little frizzy, and then retwist those. That's usually what I do, and my twist outs last probably like a little over a week, but then I get tired of them and I wash my hair. So that is another thing you could do. Also, like if you get a lot of braids, that is all, like your hair is going to come out thin, not just your edges, but just having all that in your hair. I know when I took my braids out, my braids a couple years ago, there was so much hair coming out, and I know that it was, you know, a lot of it was shed hair, and it wasn't like I was ripping my hair out, but it was, first of all, I only kept my braids in for like a week and a half because I couldn't take it. And then I also just felt like it would have been way less hair had I have just like wet my hair and detangled it after wearing it in a wash and go or a bun all week. So that is another thing. All right, last but not least, and this is actually the most important one of all. It's very, very simple to do too. If your diet is not nutrient rich, your hair is going to suffer, because our hair is not vital to us living. Yes, we love our hair. We think our hair is awesome, but your body doesn't need hair to live. So if you're not getting nutrients into those other areas of your body, then it's definitely not going to get to your hair, because your body doesn't want to shut down. So it's going to use it for those vital functions instead of, you know, giving you luscious, beautiful hair. So, you know, you should eat a lot of fat. I would say like a lot of avocado if you're not comfortable with eating a lot of saturated fat. I eat saturated fat all the time. Just not trans fat, but I eat like butter, meat, avocado, anything like that, basically to nourish my hair. And then also cutting back on processed foods and refined carbohydrates. That's not going to do you any favors, because those are basically inflammatory and toxic to your body. You can also take a supplement like biotin or a hair, nail, skin vitamin that can also boost that as well. I know I take like folic acid. I make sure my iron is correct, and I take a multivitamin every day. When I took Viviscal, I found that my hair was pretty like thick and it grew like pretty fast. But the only reason I stopped taking it is because they changed the formula a few times, and then like where I got it from, they stopped selling it. And it was just too much trouble for me. But those are all options that you could do. But I definitely recommend everyone focus on their diet. Vegetables are very rich in micronutrients, and obviously meats, and to get your protein in as well, because amino acids are basically the building blocks of hair. So your hair is mostly protein. So if you're protein deficient, your hair is going to not like it. So I think those are my 5. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I know a lot of people always ask me when we do videos what lipstick that I'm wearing or what highlighter I'm wearing. So I'm going to put both of those in the comments. I mean, not in the comments, in the details. So yeah, just let me know. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a wonderful day. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.